Hi, parents. I just wanted to share with you a new strategy, possibly new to you, strategy of doing multiplication with 2 digits by 1 digit. It's called Lattice, and the kids are going to practice this on a wonderful website that we discovered that really helps kids with getting to show their work. And it's kind of like a little interactive worksheet that I created. It also marks it right away. So students are going to know right away if they've had the right answer or the incorrect answer. So I'm going to really encourage them that if they see they had the wrong answer, go back right away, have a look, rework it, ask you for some help possibly, rewatch the video that I made in French, or watch this one with you in English. So it's called Lattice, and that makes me think of what you might see around a deck or at the top of a fence, that lattice, and it's called that because of the shape of how they do the work. So number one, they're going to do with Madame Virginie, and it's an example of multiplying 32 by 6. They're going to show their work, montre ton travail, and they're going to write the product in the text box, écris le produit, the answer. So what they'll see when they open up this is they will definitely see this number one like this, and there'll be two videos, and then they'll scroll a little farther, and they're going to click on show your work. Now on show your work, I'm just going to kind of go through this slowly with you. It says I've outlined 1 through 11 steps. Seems long, but it's just going to really guide everybody. So it says click on the T to be able to type numbers. We're going to click on the T. And it says seulement un chiffre dans chaque espace, meaning only one digit at this point in each space. The question is 32 by 6, but again, they're going to see that question right here along the side, which is really super handy. And even if they wanted to, they could watch that video right away. My videos will appear here as well. So what we're going to start with is we're going to write the 32 by 6. So because we said one number in each space, we're going to click here, and because we've clicked the T, we have a text box that's going to appear. And we're going to click 3, and we're going to write 2. And then we're going to do this one. I don't know what's going on with this guy, so I'm not sure why it appeared, but we're going to make that a 6. And I can also change my cursor back into like a more of a cursor where I can drag and drop, but to be able to write numbers, I need the T, so I'm going to click back on that T. Likely, these things will happen. And we're just going to start with, we're going to go back down to our list of directions. Number 3, 2 times 6 equals 12. So 2 times 6 does not equal 18, it equals 12. So we're going to have to use this little eraser, which is actually good that all these little problems are happening. Eraser may not work. I might have to check. Yeah, it's already a text box, so I'm just going to fix that. And we're going to call that 2 by 6. 2 times 6 is 12. So we're going to change that 2 to that 8 that was there to a 2. I'm going to continue back over here. Number 4, we're going to do 3 times 6. So before we did 2 times 6, okay, it's kind of like that grid idea that you might see in multiplication tables, 2 times 6. And now we're going to do 3 times 6, which is what number 4 told us to do. 3 times 6, that equals 18. We're going to click. We're going to remember that we have to put the 1 there and the 8 there. In the video I did with the students, I mistakenly, purposely, put an 8 there and a 1 there and said, why is it that, oh, got lots going on here. Why is it that we don't write 18 like that? Of course we wouldn't, because now that says 81 if we read it in order. So we're going to make sure that says 18. And there we go. Now we go back to our steps. This is number 5. Add each slide, diagonal slide. So if I look at this, I think of a playground and I think of slides. And so we're going to do an addition. And we're going to remember that 32 and 6 are in our question, so they're not a part of the answer. So on this slide, I call it more like a zip line. This one only has a number 2. And again, we do nothing with the 6. It's part of the question. So 2 plus nothing is what number 6 is. 2 plus nothing equals 2. So we're going to click down here. We're going to put a 2. Then we're going to go over to number 7. 1 plus 8 equals 9. 1 plus 8 equals 9. Remembering, of course, we do nothing with this 2. It's part of the question. Let's go over to number 8. 1 plus nothing, rien means nothing. 1 plus nothing is 1. So 1 plus nothing, we're going to click a 1 over here at the bottom of the slide. So our zip line here is the 2 comes down. On that slide was a 1 and an 8. Together they make 9. On this slide was a 1, so there's only 1. Remembering always that these numbers around the edge have nothing to do with the answer anymore. They were just part of the question. Now that just gives us the product. So it says number 9, the product or the answer is 192. 192. Simple. It is my favorite multiplication strategy out there. So now they're going to go back and they're going to keep reading. Number 10, write the product in the text zone in the text box. So they find that text box. Ooh, I'm kind of hiding it. The text box is down here. And clearly it would have been empty for them, but they're going to write 192, 192, and then they're coming back over to these directions and saying, now what do I do? Number 11 says, click on the check mark. They need to click on this check mark. If they click on the back arrow, thinking they're going to get back to the questions, they're actually going to log out and they're going to have to start all over again. So they need to click on this check mark. And ta-da, they're back in. Now their answer shows here beside the number 1, show your work, and they go on to number 2. And I set it up so that each question, number 2 gives them all the steps again. Number 3 gives them a little bit less steps to follow. And so that by the end, they're becoming a little more independent every time. So like looking on number 7, for example, it just says your turn. Write the answer, find the answer. So they are only going to have, they're going to have remembered all the steps along the way, so it gets them really responsible. They're going to do the same thing with 2 digits by 2 digits, but that's another video on the next assignment. So good luck with that. Remember, you can email me anytime. We can meet on Google Meet. Can be a bit tricky for parents at first, but it's a really great strategy, and I think your kids are going to love it. Now, what they're going to have to remember to do is when they're done number 7, they're going to really, really want to make sure what's going to appear down here is there's going to be a little submit your work, and they're going to need to submit that for me to be able to see it. Again, remind them that they're going to see if their answer is correct right away or if it's wrong, and encourage them to go back and make those changes right away. Maybe sit with you, ask you for some help. That's going to really keep the back and forth emails at a minimum, and it's going to give them some instant correction. Thanks for everything, and good luck with Lattice strategy of multiplication. Bye.